We're reading Rebbe Nachman's wisdom. We're on his praises, 16. The Rebbe's holy qualities were very apparent in his conquest of the universal desire, namely that of relations. He told us that he had countless temptations. Still, he insisted that relations was not really all that much to be desired, and certainly not a difficult test to withstand. The Rebbe said that any person, Jew or non-Jew alike, will not even think of relations as something that he must be desired if he is truly wise. If one knows anatomy and understands bodily functions, he should be absolutely repulsed by this desire. He spoke at length, but unfortunately most of his discussion was forgotten. However, the general trend of his conversation was that of sexual acts was ultimately repulsive. He emphasized this to such an extent that once he flatly stated, a man with even the smallest amount of true intelligence will not find this a temptation at all. There was a time in the Rebbe's youth when he had not subjugated this desire. At that time, he still had so many fearful sexual temptations that it was impossible to describe them in detail. In his youth, when his blood was literally burning, he experienced countless trials. He had many opportunities and was in great danger, time and again. But he was a stalwart warrior, and he overcame every evil desire. In this way, he surmounted his temptations many times. Despite this, the Rebbe did not seek to avoid temptation. He actually wanted to be tested and prayed to God to set temptations before him. This shows how self-confident he was that he would not rebel against God. For he said, "How can one sin and disobey God unless he is literally insane?" But with just a little common sense, all temptations can be overcome. So firmly was the Rebbe's heart resolved towards God. Despite all this, the temptations were very real. At the time, the Rebbe was in great peril. He would cry out to God again and again until he was able to surmount this evil. Difficult as his trials were, the Rebbe still did not attempt to avoid them. Countless times he battled with his passions until God helped him and he was able to subjugate his impulse entirely.